Good day, I'm Andrea Moran and you're watching CEO Internet TV. I'm delighted to introduce Richard Licata, Executive Vice President of Reebie Storage and Moving Company. Welcome.
It's good to be here, Andrea.
What are the overall trends in the U.S. today? Are we moving more frequently? Do we move more stuff?
Well, on the consumer side of the business, that's the business where people are paying for their own moves. That's definitely increased over the past couple of years. The housing market is more favorable. There's more people that are employed. So I think to a certain degree there's been a pent-up demand. So that's been on the uptick for the last 2 years. On the corporate side of the business, however, that's remained a little bit flat. Corporations are still a little skittish about the economy, so they're holding back a bit. Probably the biggest challenge in this business is the capacity issues. Seems to be less and less drivers who want to do this for a living. It's not as glamorous being the king of the road anymore. They much prefer to spend more family time at home, so they don't want to be away for any stretch of time.
What advice would you give to a company that is planning to move their office?
Well, that's a very difficult task for a lot of corporations. The idea is to close down on a Friday afternoon and have the place up and running early Monday morning. So we have to come in with an army of movers to get everything moved, and of course Monday have everything up and running. Planning and space planning is key for that. You have to make sure that the furniture fits, the new furniture, old furniture, and if something's off just an inch, it could mess up the whole floor plan. Probably the biggest concern, however, is their data and IT infrastructure. Obviously, we're very dependent on our computers nowadays, so if their computer system isn't up and running on Monday morning, well, they're not very productive and they could have some unwanted downtime between their customers and their employees.
What tips would you offer to a business that is relocating employees?
Well, moving employees is a very personal part of the business. Not only are they moving their employees, but they're moving all their prized possessions and all their worldly artifacts. So you have to be aligned with a moving company that is very attuned to the corporate culture, knows the policies and procedures, for a lot of companies who are transferring someone or doing a new hiring, we're actually their first impression of the company they're going to work for. So they definitely want to get things started on the right foot with a professional moving company. Some companies out there leave it to their own employees to make their own arrangements. Between the employee leaving their family, leaving their friends, starting a new job, they're really not in the right frame of mind to research the best moving company, and there's a lot of potential pitfalls that can make that business or make their move go sideways. And the last thing they want is a new employee who's not being productive because they have moving issues.
What are the challenges to international moving services and relocation?
Well, on a highest level, they definitely want to deal with a company that is very experienced with international moving and that have a large footprint worldwide. A lot of movers profess to do international moving, but in reality, they're outsourcing a big portion of the business. So they might be loading and unpacking it at one end, but using a third-party company at the other end. So the predictability of the service and the consistency of the service just isn't there. And of course, if something goes wrong, they're pointing fingers at each other. Allied has bricks and mortar overseas. We're the world's largest moving company. So it's truly an Allied to Allied transition. We have Orange Allied trucks at this end to load you, Orange Allied trucks at the other end to unload you. So it's a much more consistent business.
Tell us about Reebie's state-of-the-art records management and document storage system.
Okay. Well, that's a fun part of the business. There's not a lot of issues associated with it because a box doesn't talk back and you can't scratch a box. And there's nothing better than to walk into the warehouse and literally see a mountain of boxes as far as the eye could see. We got into the business with our division called Reebie Data Bank, and we're the first company in the Chicagoland area to offer a barcode system. That allowed us to keep track of all the boxes, the files in the boxes, and in some clients, even the Post-it notes that went into the files. So we knew where a box is at every given moment, not where it should be. And not only is it more efficient for our clients, but there's a cost savings associated with it because we only charge based on what boxes they had in our warehouse. They don't have to reserve a certain amount of space, whether they're using that space or not. What we offer today to give us a competitive edge is imaging. By imaging the documents, we don't have to move boxes back and forth like we used to. Our customers could access their files from the comfort of their own office.
What does it mean to be part of the Allied Network?
Being part of the Allied Network gives us a specialty to customize people's moves, our customers' moves, whether they're moving locally, long distance, or internationally. We have a network, the world's largest network of agents, all committed to excellent service. What we do is take the anxiety out of the move by having a move consultant who methodically handle the move from start to finish. This way our customers, if they have a question, aren't asking 10 different times to 10 different people on the phone to get a question answered. They could go right to their moving consultant to get any questions answered. And of course, it eliminates any surprises for the move. The price we quote is the price you pay, and we can't say that about most movers.
Wonderful. Richard, thank you so much for joining us here today, and much continued success.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me.